Top of the morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Silverstones. My name is Joran Headley, and I will be your host for today's show, where I'll be talking about what the F is going on in cryptos right now. And there's a lot. There's a ton of stuff going on, too much. Some might even say, including myself. But we're going to be doing a show like this once a week on this channel. And I'm going to be talking about just some news that I've noticed that I think will have an impact on anybody who's watching this channel. So a lot of stuff that I watch and tune into every day is pretty far down the Bitcoin rabbit hole. And I think that would be pretty counterproductive for people to be paying attention to or listening to at this stage of the game, where we're just trying to learn about Bitcoin and get a feel for it. So what this show is, it's going to be basically a higher level view of things and how it might impact us, how it'll impact the Bitcoin industry with related news. And I'm also going to be talking about some things that I've come across during the last week in terms of different apps, maybe different tools and different things that I've found useful or helpful to me. And I'm thinking if you're doing this as well, they'd be useful to you. So we're going to be going through, I'm going to be sharing the screen here in a second. Hopefully it works. It worked pretty well yesterday, and I think I've actually figured it out better today than I had it set up yesterday. And the good news is you're going to get to see a much smaller version of me. But in terms of where to start, I think we should start talking about the price of Bitcoin. And I'm not going to be talking about price at all on this show because I think that it's completely irrelevant at this stage. And there are other channels who focus on the price. They focus on the charts, the technical analysis of Bitcoin and the other cryptos. But if you're looking for that, you're in the wrong spot. This is just going to be kind of like I said, a higher level view of things, how it'll impact us, and so on. So the price of Bitcoin today is at 16. We're in the 16,000s. $16,000, down 15 or 20% from yesterday, down 75% a year ago. Last November was when Bitcoin hit an all-time high of $69,000, $69,420. That's a great number. So what the heck happened? I don't know. It's been a wild year, and if you've survived this Bitcoin price drop, congrats to you. I mean, it hasn't been easy for sure. I wouldn't say I've ever really considered selling my Bitcoin. I'm in it for the longer term for sure. And that's something that I came to a conclusion right off the start. I went into this with a long-term vision. And so along the way, there are going to be a lot of bumps and very big drops, very high run-ups. And you just kind of got to weather it, I think. It is hard to do, especially if you have other stuff going on in your life that you need to pay for. I understand that. But if you've ever held on to Bitcoin for more than 4 years, you've never lost any money. And I think that that's a pretty important thing to keep in mind as we progress here. And as you're getting into Bitcoin, don't look at the month to month, even the year to year. Really zoom out and remember what we're doing here and what we're trying to accomplish. So for me, it's a very long-term hold. I'm not really phased by this price. I bought a little bit of Bitcoin this morning. You have to almost at this rate. But that's all we're going to talk about today in terms of the price. Now we're going to get into what happened and why the price dropped so much. And that is to do with a company called FTX. So we're going to see if this works here. Look at that. I think it's working. It's really rare when things work for me technologically anyway. So this is the graph showing FTX. FTX is a crypto exchange. So think about FTX like Binance or a ShakePay, where you can send in your dollars and you can exchange it for cryptos. So that's part of their company. They also do, you can leave your Bitcoin on the exchanges and earn interest from it. So you can basically borrow against it as well. You can do a bunch of different things in terms of leveraging your Bitcoin and leaving it on the exchanges. I'm not a proponent of that at all. I highly recommend taking every Bitcoin you have off of, or every Satoshi you have off of the exchanges and move it into your own private wallet, which I did a video on recently about about how to move your Bitcoin into a private wallet. Me personally, I think that this news is bad for the industry, but good overall. I believe that we need less of this and more people just holding their own Bitcoin in their own private wallets as a long-term store of wealth and not worrying about accruing interest or other things, other fancy tricks that they can do and manipulate and whatever else. I'm just not a fan of it. I've never been a part of that. And especially with the amount of crypto exchanges that are going down, I probably will never get into it. So what happened at FTX is a good question, because there's a bunch of different theories going around right now. And from what I've seen with it is that they were way over leveraged. And what that means is they had too much of when they were getting financing, they were using their own tokens, their own FTT tokens, which is right here. FTX is the company. FTT is the token that they use on their blockchain. And basically what they were using as security was their own tokens. And that would be the equivalent of me starting up a company, creating my own cryptocurrency, and then using those tokens to obtain more financing from lenders. And so they got caught. They got exposed. They were holding much less Bitcoin than they had in. So I don't want to go too far down this. I really want to keep things simple here. So forget about that. FTX sucks. That's the moral of the story. Actually, the moral of the story is, and yeah, I'm going to sound like a complete broken record over and over again here, but get your cryptocurrency, your Bitcoin off of the exchanges. FTX, get it off of Binance, even get it off of ShakeBait. If you're earning money with your Bitcoin, you're doing it wrong. And FTX was a perfect example of that. So rest in peace. This show's already gone off the rails here. And maybe it'll be like that every week. This is another thing that I've come across recently in my travels here. And maybe I can open this up. Big screen mode. Thinking about it. There it is. If you know anything about Bitcoin, you know about the halving schedule. And so every 4 years, the new amount of Bitcoin that's created gets cut in half. So if you look here, when Bitcoin was created in 2009, the block reward, which is essentially when a node verifies a block, this is what they get rewarded in for Satoshis in Bitcoin. So you can see in 2009, it was 5 million Satoshis. In 2012, it was, that's a bold-faced lie, 5 billion Satoshis in 2009. 2012, 2.5 billion Satoshis. 2010, 1.25 billion Satoshis. And right now, in the halving schedule, we're at 625 million Satoshis, which is 6.25 Bitcoin. Within every one Bitcoin is 100 million Satoshis. So in 2020 and still 2022, the miners are earning 6.25 Bitcoin for each block block reward. And words are hard. If you're still with me here after all this, I appreciate you. In 2024, we're moving into another halving. So the block reward is going to be 3.12 Bitcoin. But the thing that I really want to point out about this issuance schedule, and I didn't really see too far down the line there. I knew that it cut in half every year as part of the code, the Bitcoin code. But if you look at 2136, so in 100 years from now, all the computers across the world are going to be mining Bitcoin, and the block reward for mining the block reward for verifying the block, completing the block, is 1 Satoshi. One Satoshi. And if you're new to Bitcoin, that might sound crazy, but it's so far beyond crazy. Let me give you an example here. This morning on ShakePay, I shook my phone. Part of ShakePay is that you unlock a shake feature within ShakePay, and you can shake your phone and earn free Satoshis. And so this morning when I shook my phone, do it again here just to show. So oh geez, it didn't say. And this is a tough start here to the news show. But shaking stats, there we go. So I earned yesterday, it was last night actually, I don't know if you can see that or not, 595 Satoshis for shaking my phone. I earned 595 Satoshis this morning for shaking my phone. And in a little over 100 years from now, every computer in the world is going to be trying to mine Bitcoin. And their reward for doing that, if they actually get picked to mine the block, is going to be 1 Satoshi. Sorry, I wanted to talk about this. I don't mean to get dramatic here, but when I saw that, I honestly could not believe my eyes. And so 100 years is a little down the road. Let's look at 2000. The majority of us are probably going to be around in 2072, maybe, hopefully. 76,000 Satoshis you're going to be getting for 1 block. And to put that into perspective, I think it's important to do this because I want to look back on this one day and see, I mean, like people would have done 10 years ago from now, they'd be doing the same kind of stuff. But when I bought Bitcoin yesterday, I bought $25. I did it for one of the episodes on here. And that was 99,000 Satoshis for $25. So within our lifetime, every computer within the Bitcoin network is going to be competing to mine a block that's going to be worth 76,000 Satoshis. That's what they're going to get if they are lucky enough to figure out the equation. And if you're lost here, that's okay. I sometimes get lost thinking about this stuff. I mean, it's hard to understand, and I'm actually going to do a separate video on what this means exactly in terms of how are new Bitcoins created, and what is mining, and what does it mean, and who gets to do it, and how do they get rewarded. I'm going to do that in a whole different show. But for now, this is what people are going to be fighting for in 2072, 76,000 Satoshis. And yesterday, with $25, I bought 99,000 Satoshis. So just to put that into perspective, that's wild, in my opinion anyways. Probably if you're watching this, you aren't as big of a nerd as I am, but that's okay. Moving on. This is the last part here. Sorry. I know this is kind of dragged on a little bit. I hope it probably will be, but my intentions are not for it to be this silly on here. But this is something I recently came across as well. And it's actually tied to a cryptocurrency called Theta. And for those who know me personally, I'm a huge advocate of the Theta network. And this specific project is called Imagine Replay. And they have a website called Rewarded TV. So it pays you to watch movies in their native currency, cryptocurrency, which is replay tokens. So you're going to watch TV on here for free. You don't have to pay a subscription fee, and they're actually going to pay you to watch. How does that work? I have no idea. Do I care? Absolutely not. Here is it doesn't have the same kind of movie titles as Netflix or Amazon, but it has actually a surprising amount of stuff on here. I've watched a few movies on here. This is kind of for like the nerds in the world. Nerds would love this stuff. Even the Backstreet Boys documentary is on here. So you can play it. I don't want to. I don't want to screw things up here. Things have been running really smoothly on here so far. But every movie you watch, you get paid in these replay tokens. And I'm going to exit out of here though, because I'm done with this. You can check it out. I'll probably do a feature on like how to earn Bitcoin without actually spending money, and rewarded TV will be part of that. But for now, we'll leave it there. Check it out if you want to. I might put my link below. I mean, you don't get a whole lot for referral fees on this, unfortunately, but it's still better than nothing. So I'll throw my link under there if you want to go check out Rewarded TV and get a little bit of free tokens before you get started in there. I have no idea what replay tokens would be worth. Right now, they're worth basically nothing. But the point is if you're watching, I sometimes just throw it on my laptop if I'm working, just to have it on in the background, even if it's muted. So I'm earning cryptos without actually watching anything. And I have no idea what these cryptos are going to be worth. No clue. They could be worth a lot. They could be worth zero. But am I going out of my way to earn them? Not really. And as these projects move along, the amount of payouts that they give goes down significantly. As more people come onto the platforms, they reduce the payouts. ShakePay did the exact same thing. ShakePay used to have a $30 referral fee. Now it's down to $10. And that's because these companies will have a certain budget that they can allocate to payouts. And as more people are using it and more users are around, they obviously have to pay out more. So they have to decrease the payouts that they're giving out. So if you can get into these projects super early, like ShakePay or like Replay, Rewarded TV, and you can accumulate a bunch of these tokens while it's still early, that is the key. So check it out. Like I said, I'm going to put the link below here. I think you get like 20 replay tokens for using a referral link, better than zero. So I'm going to wrap this up. This was a wild episode. I'm thinking this is how a lot of the episodes that Kyle and I do together will be like. So maybe it's just a good preview for things here. It's been another episode where I do not edit, which can get a little bit, lots of ums and so's and stuff, but whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm not perfect. I'm just here to help as much as I can. So once again, I appreciate you. Thanks for tuning into the very first crypto news segment on Silverstones, and we will talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.